Life is an empty paper. Fill your paper with the breathings of your heart. William Wordsworth. Welcome back, dears. Let's begin the poem Lines Written in Early Spring now. Okay, just think of spring season. The season is always a special one. It is the name of beauty. Everybody likes this season a lot. During spring, days get longer and weather gets warmer. Mainly, the flowers bloom in this season. Most of the people consider spring as a season of rebirth and new beginnings. Farmers sow their seeds in the spring season. In the title of the poem, Early Spring denotes the beginning of spring season, and the words lines written, which means the poet composed a poem. So, from the title, we can understand that the poet composed a poem in the beginning of spring season. This poem, Lines Written in Early Spring, was one of the poems in his collection of poetry, Lyrical Ballads, which was published in the year 1800. Historically, he wrote this poem, Lines Written in Early Spring, on a walk near a village. And this is a landscape poem, which means a picture representing a real or imaginary scene. And mainly, this poem is considered with nature. This is a simple poem of Wordsworth composed of 6 4-line stanzas with the rhyme scheme of AB AB. And this poem shows the connection between the poet and nature very apparently. First, let me say the gist of the poem now. The poet, William Wordsworth, is the speaker who was sitting all alone in a grove, and he heard some musical rhythm. The pleasantries of nature brought sad thoughts. He appreciated nature as it has the ability to link with the human soul. In spite of the pleasant scenery, the poet worried very much, thinking of man and his detachment from nature. He saw the flowers in the place he sat and believed that they were enjoying the air they breathed. He did not understand the thinking of birds which were playing around him, but he felt they were with happiness. The twigs of the trees caught the air happily, and he too gathered pleasure in nature. Finally, he questioned himself, if everything was perfect in nature, why man drifted away from nature? Then what man has made of man? With this question, he concluded his poem. With this brief gist, let's see it elaborately. Lines Written in Early Spring by William Wordsworth. I heard 1,000 blended notes while in a grove I sat reclined. In that sweet mood when pleasant thoughts bring sad thoughts to the mind. Here, hard word when we take a blend means mix, 1,000 blended notes, which means mixture of musical rhythms, various sounds. Grove, you all know that which is a land with group of trees, and a reclined is a resting position. See, the poet began his poem with the word I, which denotes the poet is the speaker of the poem. And already I informed you that this poem is a landscape poem and also which is filled with a lot of vivid imagery. So you can imagine whatever I say, that you can imagine in your mind, which will be helpful and also which will make you understand easily, right? Let's start. And I heard 1,000 blended notes while in a grove I sat reclined. The poet, he was sitting under a tree all alone in the middle of nature. Sitting in the grove, he admired the beauty of nature. At the same time, he heard a mixed musical rhythms together. Lot and lot of sounds he heard. Nature, when we take all the sounds, we can hear the birds, their sounds also, their chirping also will be there, that wind sound also. So all those sounds mixed together, he was hearing by sitting there. His mind was filled with several thoughts. Though the nature and its beauty gave solace to his mind, he was thinking a lot and a lot. Though the nature is giving solace, it brought some sad thoughts also. Right? Then the next stanza. To her fair work did nature link, the human soul through me ran, and much it grieved my heart to think what man has made of man. So here, when we take the poet, he was appreciating nature by saying to her fair work. Like that, he is appreciating nature as well as he personified nature as a woman. He gave her nature the ability to link herself with his soul. He gave, actually, nature has the ability to link itself with the human soul. See the line. Did nature link the human soul that through me ran? Okay. So, nature linked to the poet's soul and experienced the pleasure of beauty. However, the poet is worried and he thought how cruelly man separated himself from his mother nature. In this stanza, Wordsworth appreciated and personified nature and thought of the unnatural aspects of human society which lead to the sufferings and unhappiness through the line. What man has made of man. And see, we saw the poet personify nature as a woman. So the figure of speech used in the line to her fair work did nature link is personification.